satellite station here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I'm Digichigamin on the Health and Wellness Show. Mino update ni Jichigamin. Niga Chimana na Bejika, Witno Himang, Chibia, Gigat Gawin Chibia. Chibita Shentang, where when Gawin or we do the Moat. Gawin Ge Ejichiget. I'm going my address. Ngaton mi uma bijakan ishpin na we biga gigit one gagin gelma I gabi jai my jai Mox and Trail News join me live on this link https://app.belive.tv/628-441/guest GUEST. Mi ma bija kanchke mi ma ga tashe tashin damen. Ich bin we been the game. Mi ma ga ich bin the game. All right, if you've just joined us, good afternoon. It's me, Corey Whitford, your anchor for Treaty 2 Territory, your news portal broadcasting right to all places. Umagida I'm going to check updates ni ayamin on the health and wellness program. Kanabachay Karen Gijik Ingaganunan. Kevin Yamati Bachma what is the planning stages? So waiting for Karen to arrive. In the meantime, then I'm going to Kamasha Jake Bedusi in the COVID numbers. Ishpinayam wait the COVID numbers. If you'd like to interact with us, give us the most recent information on the COVID updates. Kamasha Nine Kubandijasi and just setting up shop in our satellite station in Winnipeg Nation. Winnipeg, Manitoba. Ajinikatamwat, Kevin Omagayawat. Anishnabik, Matizik, Nanadaka, with Nukanak. Sir, I guess it again. Scary. You know which man on Karen Gijik, Gavin, the Ma Chibibin to get and talk about what's taking place in all of our updates throughout Treaty 2 territory. So me and guys again. We're just waiting for her to get ready and get set up at her location. And it's a great afternoon here. You know what we're doing? We're broadcasting from a stronger signal, and we're broadcasting from a much clearer picture, and we're using earphones and the microphone technology. Just piloting the show now. Wow, beginning to feel like quite a vehicle, an instrument of change. Manaji to win. Among me, so that type of vehicle. Satash, Nijoganiduk, Dinavaganiduk. I know they chigoma. Nondagan Wemikan in the COVID numbers for Manitoba. So let's go take a look at the COVID numbers for Manitoba, COVID update in Manitoba. I'm going to go and check this. CBC News. The latest headlines from the CBC News website is this: Manitoba extends COVID-19 restrictions through holidays, but exempts drive-in events and more. Drive-in church services are okay. Thrift stores are open. Sale of Christmas, other holiday items allowed. Oh, so they'll be able to shop too. We're gonna do our update now for a health and wellness show, and we're gonna bring in our special guest, reoccurring guest, Karen Kijik. We're gonna come on in and talk about what the latest news is. Karen, kitayani ma?
I'm here.
Bonjour, ni John.
Bonjour. Can
Nange.
you hear me?
Yeah, when you wake in London, I hear you loud and clear.
All right.
Karen, we've been working now. It's our third week here with this satellite station. We've set up an office in Winnipeg. We've got a higher frequency. We've got a larger audience, and it's growing every day. Health and wellness wise, I think we're going in the right direction.
Yes, I agree. We definitely are. And the during COVID, I know it's in an unprecedented time. We haven't dealt with this since our ancestors dealt with this kind of aquazion. And I think the when we think about health, our mental health is there's clear impacts to it, right?
Uh-huh.
And the the amount of information that we have on how it's going to impact us is limited right now, right? But I think what we can do on a daily level to ensure that we're doing what we can to stay healthy matters. Um, and then the connection to the land. Kishpin na guching nunde jayin bizanago kita the bomb sa right. Me tishigia mitiguga kita on the mutsag go and visit the trees. I actually did that and I do that. I go and take in that fresh air. And when you think about the way our lungs, the anatomy of our lungs, and you look at the way the tree is shaped, you can see the similarities with how we're connected to our tree life. And when you think about the way the tree's planted in our Mother Earth to that core, and how the tree, it stands through the wind. Tapshkugin win, right? If we're taking care of ourselves, we have that strength, and then the ability to breathe in really good oxygen through our lungs. That's what I've learned about thinking Anishinaabe.
Went
Uh,
for the land too. Yeah, ganyan to niya kay Jeb naman na kay Shigagi gitu about the similarities of our lungs and the trees. Hindi ko ay miya check kinamage ang gabe to the younger generations and me wen just what the man with no kaneo. That's why we have our Treaty Two territory social media campaign and well, I think niminenum sa what you to Aunt Karen. I think that's what I'm basically acknowledging is unishin we chi jaga agi to ang chi ganun dia Chinese na be mo chito wa akina ma ge ang ni ga gi chi ha we to ta na chin me ta na ma ge ni gan chi she akina ma ge ang chi gan dina chi gan na ma sa ho ya re ni gan ni she Ejea Amy Lancho Wondermot Kina Oshkimati Zik.
hey, Kitebwe, Ashnami and Ziong in Schnabeg. The one of the roles and responsibilities that I have as a policy knowledge keeper, and I understand from Anishinaabe perspective in terms of Ndutem. And I'll show you my Ndutem back here. Mi oan Ndutem Awasasi Ajin Kaza. So it's the Bullhead clan. And that's not part of my characteristic to be bullheaded, by the way. Isn't dumb a good thing? Yun nga, give sitash ka on ganin when I get humbled, right? Um, so one elder had taught me, Fred Kelly. He said, "Mi bejugun and not the zit kitutam, che not the zien keyin." So when I think about my clan, it's in the water. right? And it's a bottom feeder, so it helps clean the water, right? And and so whenever I think about that, anin nin chigagwa manoy awan. So that question that you ask yourself, what do I need? You know exactly what you need, and it's trusting that your spirit. Ashna miyesh nikazawan ganin nishnabe kwens sini kwen gandigo. And so when I think about my names, I go to that space and think, okay, so what am I telling myself? What do I need based on my Anishinaabe way of life? And I think I need to get to the water. And I know as you get older, you kind of really don't go swimming a lot.
Yeah.
As a kid, you're always in the water, right? Like you're just really dark from the summer and like dry skin and getting bit by wasps, right? So I make it a point to actually be by the water. And
Oh,
yeah, so and drink lots of water. And when I think also about health, there's environmental health, right? Some of our communities need clean water, right? And I know the Trudeau government has issued a timeline for themselves in order to make sure that First Nation communities have clean drinking water and that there's infrastructure that's also needed, right? And I just wanted to say Chibiwach to all the water treatment plant operators that are there protecting their nation. Ashna, and one of the things that I noticed with our water keepers is that they really take pride in that. They're always at the water treatment plant. It's noisy, and they're the first line of defense. They're the ones that are ganatamagat, right, for the people. So I wanted to create a little bit of space to say chimiwach to all our water treatment plant operators out there working to keep us healthy and safe. And I hope that they are watched over as well. Chigunan dagwaziat gewinwa.
when you wake up, it's can be no kit yeah, like it one. I can on there, I wanna take up on I wanna take away from one of your what we talked about just recently, and it's your dudem. Uh, now and then the sturgeon now no kan
Kawin, it's a bullhead fish.
bullhead.
That well tuta man mi tasha gi no dan iya tapsko kimama kitutem kitawa. And my dad is from Northwest Dangle, right? And I have clan brothers and sisters in Red Lake Nation, and some clan brothers and sisters in Eastern Ontario, right? And Ashtami Manji Magak the Citizenship Law, right? Anin Gin and the Ben Dagwazi. And so when our Nishnaba people, they usually ask these questions, right? In terms of finding out your sense of belonging, and trying to find out if there's relations there. And you know that Mackinac Minis is very, very close that way, right? Turtle Island is very, very close. Um, and that's why we always say all my relations, right? And that's another teaching. But wenen kitutam, right? Wenen kimama, wenen kitata. Handigwe kagisha, biggie wingin, right? Where were you raised, right? So those questions are really to find out aningi gaije nendoing, right? And there's always somebody that knows somebody in your family, right? So I think it's quite wonderful and beautiful when we can say we share grandchildren, right? And we think about how we're related, the relational aspects And there's communities that are related to each other by virtue of fishing tournaments. Hockey brings us together, right, in that sort of modern context. And in the treaty, we all helped each other. We all knew this was coming. Piche Juan Dagazing, right? We knew and we were told. By spirits, by our elders, and the signatories of the day, and the women, Gagi, they put forth these speakers, right? Because there was no Indian Act during the time, right? You didn't have a chief and council system. Ganigan is it a lead speaker, and so I think it's really important to understand from a historical context who we are, and that those values gagishigabwing gaishanatazing mitishega and then lang anishinaba. So one of the questions and the guidance that I received from one of the elders in my territory is, you need to think Anishinaabe. That's who you are. Think Anishinaabe. The Anishinaabe thinks in a higher order thinking. Piche at piche kaken dasut Anishinaabe. So as Anishinaabe people, we are very intellectual human beings, and everything that we were told through residential school is not true. And we know that. We know how smart we are. We know that if the lake isn't as high, and that if the water is low, it's going to be hot. Mm-hmm. So if the lake is covering the rocks, the sun isn't going to hit the shoreline and create all this heat. So we know that. And that knowledge is transmitted through our knowledge keepers. They come in Tabachimog, right? Through our councils, right? Through that we sakatating, that unity that we have. And I think unity is medicine. It is medicine. It is that good medicine. And whenever we walk away from a circle, we feel so good. We feel so good. We sakatatiang. And I know that it's quite difficult right now. And in terms of the health and well-being circle, I am thinking of every one of you. I'm thinking every one of the Abanunjiag, the young girls, the young boys, the men, the women, the youth, the elders, as I'm working. And and through all that, I develop things, and I think, well, all right, I also need to be very careful and mindful that there's direction, right? The treaty position, and that the treaty position on health and well-being, there's the medicine chest clause, there's also the individual way of how we perceive minobamatiziwin. So what do I need in order to achieve my own minobamatiziwin? It may be different, and the holistic sense of things may also be there, right? And we need to tell those good stories of how we achieve health and wellness. And some of the things that and I always say, I'm happy. I'm happy. And one of the things I never do is I never complain about the weather. That's not our values, to complain about the weather, right? We always say, oh, let's take this in. The water is coming to cleanse the earth and take away everything that we're worried about, right? Whereas, other people may have a different set of values. But I think within our value system, it's a beautiful life, and we're given all the tools to succeed. And to tuang ganin when agoiti when meet the shiga and to our young people, you are definitely important, and we love you. You are loved, respected, and you mean the world to our Anishinaabe people. You're going to be taking care of the earth. You're going to be taking care of the water. You're going to be taking care of the language Anishinaabe and the nation. Each and every one of you, you are loved. So I wanted to just share that because that is something that they need to hear. I grew up hearing that. I grew up hearing "Natan Shnabem o eh." It was never directed to me. I heard it, so I grab it. I grabbed it, Gikunandantish, and I thought, I know what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. So anyway, we need more of that. We need more of that positive feedback and positive energy flowing to our youth. And anyway, so do we have any more questions or?
Yes, I want to say thank you. Thank you for connecting the dots for me today. I learned from you today when you talked about you said
Mm,
you showed me your picture of Kinki Totem. Nin ai umashkus totem meawe. And I looked at when you said meawega natas meawega gaija mamit is it the way the animal carries themselves, the characteristics. I picked up on what you were saying there, and I was thinking, boy, I think I get the characteristics of an elk and myself. Elk likes to travel a lot. Oh, he loves traveling. He likes going all over in the countryside. I was wondering, how come my soul feels so good when I'm out in the field, out in the backcountry road? Like, why is it that when get why is it that my I just feel so great? And then this morning, Karen, Nijo, uh, I was I was being told a story by my good friend in Bitibajimatak. She says, "Makwenin ndo dem." Sa Dinike, she says, "I akwenin ninita ijichige ni nai." Oh, I just love to feed my spirit. She said, "This is just from today. You know, nobody
yeah.
noticed, but this is just from esa mama kache na netake go. You know, everything happens for a reason." And she was telling me, she says, "I'm makwenin ndo dem," and I like to feed my spirit. And then told me like directly right to me says I like raspberries, I like strawberries, I like blueberries. What we were talking about here this afternoon, when you're talking about dudem, I reflected on that conversation and it clicked. It clicked. I realized, okay, my dudem, I feel great when I'm on a backcountry road. And I feel even better when I'm eating, me too, I'm a raspberry type of and a blueberry. I like raspberry, blue, and strawberry. I like all three actually. I don't know if that's what my goose likes to eat, but that's what gives me the most comfort, something like that. So we connected the dots today. Me, Which thank you for the knowledge shared.
You're welcome, Kagin. Thank you for sharing. That's also the knowledge exchange.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
it's reciprocal, right? Yeah.
here's your Sama.
Yeah.
Gitu mi wech ni jo gan na pacha when get min chige min wega ka kina magiang and by providing knowledge to the people watching, we're recording it, we're holding on steadfast to all the knowledge that needs to be transferred. I think that's what needs to happen is we need to transfer knowledge.
Yeah, Kagat. And knowledge shouldn't be hoarded. Don't be a hoarder. Anyway, I thought I would share some humor because humor is good. It actually helps your endorphins, right?
Yeah, makes you.
And builds your immune system, which we need. Let's keep on being strong and healthy and happy. Miguel, Gagin.
Two more things, because we're building an alliance, we're building networks, and no, do them get kinama. Oh, I just got taught that. If you have a few moments, you got I should get him up and do them courtesy of Mr. Paul Gamon sa aging ni which hope ni minik kawa in do them we in today no I don't know if it would be any type of if it would be a healer specifically. It was Paul in this case who told me who my and I was searching. I'm in my late 40s. I was searching all these years, 45, 46, 47. I kept on looking, and well, maybe I didn't look hard enough. But when Mr. Paul Gimond came into my life in 2018, me magagi macho jimino shaman mi wea nishna betwang wea nishna bea moset, and that's when I started mine because now I didn't just have a spirit name. Manwegi Jed taught to me how to read it, how to speak it, how to write it by Patricia Ningwins back in 2002.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I got my name in 2002.
Oh,
I,
wow.
my clan 10 years later, or maybe 16 years later, 2017, 15 years later.
Yeah.
And now, just recently, Mr. Paul Gimand, these are your colors. And these four colors are your colors. He told me all of them, and I don't know if it makes a difference from top to bottom, but the way the way I see my colors, actually seen it in real life on the way to Treaty, the heart of Treaty 2, just 2 weeks ago, and I was sharing this with another very special friend, and I says, my colors are burgundy, platinum, light blue, dark blue. Okay, you see those in a row? Burgundy, platinum, light blue, dark blue. When you're driving towards, when you're driving on the Trans Canada, this is exactly where it happened to me, where I realized that's me right there. I was driving by myself going up just north of Highway 1 at 16 towards McDonald, and the sun was setting, and that sun. And then when the sun fell on the bottom layer, on the bottom here, there was burgundy. That was the land, and you could see the trees and the fields off in the distance. That was that one layer of burgundy straight across the screen. And then where the land meets the horizon, that was platinum color. And then where, as you go higher into the sky, there was a light blue. It was transitioning to light blue. And then the last color, dark blue, which Paul Gamon says is my background color, my base color. If I get a ribbon shirt, it should be a dark blue ribbon shirt to get up that way if you're going to show your colors. So at that moment, at twilight, just before dusk, just before it turns into night, me and man, that right at that moment when the sun goes down, that moment there at sunset, just a moment after sunset, I think that's where I can really relate to that. So I usually use that as my special time of day. So at that moment, I'm out there somewhere giving thanks to my spirit, eating strawberries, blueberries, raspberries,
Yeah.
and traveling on a gravel road or in a field somewhere, deep in a field somewhere, far off from the highway. That's me. I learned that today, and I just decided go all in today, Corey. Give it your all, and look at how far we got today.
Yeah, big much for sharing that, and I really respect the teaching that you shared and the connection to your spiritual identity and the sunset, the colors, right? It's
Uh,
uh it's quite beautiful, Miigwech.
Not much that's 30 minutes of great content and information for our for the generation here right now and for the ones yet to come.
All right. Okay, stay awesome, Treaty 2.
Ahansa,
Pama minwa.
mama mino.
Yeah.
Sige, so what a beautiful, uplifting conversation with Karen Kijik. Pajigachimi, Wech Karen, thank you for the knowledge shared today. That's the way we're going to do the health and wellness show with Manaji doing with humility, with truth. Straight conversation for the children ages 4 to 7, somewhere there. This is the type of knowledge we're leaving behind for you to carry and carry it forward. I'm Corey Whitford. December the 8th, 2020. Health and Wellness Program.